Some westerns entertain you, but others stay with you forever. Ride the High Country is one of those rare films. On the surface, it's a simple story about two aging gunmen and one final journey. But underneath, it's a powerful farewell to the Old West and to the legends who defined it. Directed by Sam Peckinpah and starring Western icon Randolph Scott in his final role, this film quietly changed the genre forever. But behind its calm and emotional story are secrets, struggles, and hidden details most fans never knew existed. So before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because you won't want to miss these 20 hidden facts about Ride the High Country that will change the way you see this classic forever. Fact number 1: the real title wasn't Ride the High Country. Most people know this movie as Ride the High Country. But when production first started, the script's working title was actually Guns in the Afternoon. Yup, that was the name before the studio switched it for the final release. Funny, right? This original title actually gives off a totally different vibe, more like a punchy shoot-'em-up than the thoughtful Western we got. Fact number 2: Sam Peckinpah helped rewrite the script, but wasn't officially credited. Even though N.B. Stone Jr. got sole screenplay credit, much of the actual script was rewritten by Peckinpah himself and another writer, William S. Roberts. Producer Richard Lyons later confirmed that Peckinpah's touches were all over the dialogue and character work, especially the more reflective scenes. Fact number 3: it was a revisionist Western before that term was cool. Before we had revisionist Westerns like The Wild Bunch or Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Ride the High Country was already playing with that idea. Instead of noble cowboys riding into the sunset, this movie gave us aging gunmen facing a changing world, and not everything wrapped up neatly. That theme would echo through Peckinpah's later career. Fact number 4: the film was picked for the National Film Registry. Here's a big one. In 1992, Ride the High Country was selected for the Library of Congress National Film Registry, which means it's officially, culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. That's a huge honor, and for many fans it's validation that this Western is way more important than most people realize. Fact number 5: it was Randolph Scott's very last film role. Randolph Scott had been a Western star for decades, and when shooting wrapped, he called it a career. He reportedly said he wanted to quit while he was ahead, saying he didn't think he could better his performance here. So this movie is the final screen appearance from one of the classic cowboy icons. Fact number 6: Joel McCrea almost played a different character. Here's a fun casting twist. Originally, Joel McCrea was cast as Gil Westrom the gunman, and Randolph Scott was Steve Judd the straight-laced lawman. But early in production, each actor wasn't feeling their assigned roles, so they went to the producer and asked for a switch, and the rest is history. Fact number 7: Mariette Hartley's film debut was in this movie. Elsa Knudsen, the young woman they help out during the journey, that was Mariette Hartley's first movie role ever. She went on to have a solid career in film and TV, but this was her big screen debut, and what a debut it was. Fact number 8: filming was brutally short and mostly on location. The shoot was tight, like 26 days tight. That's pretty fast for a feature film, especially one with lots of outdoor scenes and action sequences. They started shooting in the Sierra Nevada region near Mammoth Lakes, but a crazy snowstorm forced them back to Los Angeles. You'll see some of the outdoor scenes were actually done in Bronson Canyon and Malibu Canyon. Fact number 9: the snow in the mining camp was fake. When they had to move production back to Mother Nature didn't cooperate, so instead of real snow, the crew used foam snow for the mining camp scenes. Yup, that fluffy white stuff was a Hollywood stand-in. It even splatters strangely when characters fall on it. Fact number 10: some tent materials came from other big films. Movie sets often recycle stuff, but check this out. The canvas used for the mining camp tents was recycled from leftover sales from MGM's Mutiny on the Bounty, and another set came from How the West Was Won. So pieces of this movie were literally stitched together from Hollywood history. Fact number 11: one line in the film was deeply personal to Peckinpah. Steve Judd's memorable line, "I just want to enter my house justified," wasn't just written for the film. Peckinpah reportedly borrowed that phrase from his own father, who used to say it. It's one of the most poignant moments in the movie, and now we know it came straight from his real life. Fact number 12: the studio barely believed in the movie. Despite how respected this film eventually became, MGM originally released it as the bottom half of a double feature. That basically means they didn't think it would be more than a cheap B movie. Turns out, They were so wrong. Fact number 13, it bombed in the US, but was big overseas. In the United States, the movie didn't make a big splash and actually lost money for MGM. But in Europe, it was a major success and helped build Peckinpah's reputation overseas long before critics in America caught on. Fact number 14, the script reversal changed the ending. Originally, the plans for the end of the movie were very different. At first, filmmakers planned for Joel McCrea's character to survive the climax and Randolph Scott's to die. But when Peckinpah rewrote it, he flipped the ending, making the emotional payoff about redemption and the price of honor instead of just survival and guns. Fact number 15, Charlton Heston considered a remake. Believe it or not, in the late 1980s, Charlton Heston actually thought about starring in a remake of Ride the High Country, possibly with Clint Eastwood. That never happened, but it shows how influential the original became enough that legends were thinking about revisiting it decades later. Fact number 16, the movie pressed Peckinpah into star-director territory. Although this was Peckinpah's second feature film as a director, the way it explored aging friendship, loyalty, and the end of the Old West set him up for his later masterpieces like The Wild Bunch and Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. You can literally see his voice starting to take shape here. Fact number 17, filming was disrupted by weather big time. Production actually started up in snowy conditions in Inyo National Forest, but a major snowstorm forced the crew to pack up and move back south to California's Santa Monica Mountains. That's a huge mid-shoot disruption and not something you usually hear about in Hollywood. Fact number 18, the cinematography was led by a legend. Lucien Ballard, the cinematographer on this film, was already known for his tremendous work. Later, Ballard worked with Peckinpah on other projects, and his camera style helped make the High Sierras feel alive on film even when conditions were tough. Fact number 19, some flag details don't match history. Here's a fun detail for history buffs. In the opening, there are US flags that don't match the actual historical period. You might spot 34-star flags alongside electric lights and automobiles, which didn't quite sync historically. But hey, this was Hollywood, and sometimes details slip. Fact number 20, the film was a major step in redefining Westerns. At the time this movie came out, Westerns were still mostly about clean heroes and clear villains. Ride the High Country gave us complex characters, flawed human aging, and asked big questions about honor and change. Today, it's seen as a key piece in the revisionist Western movement that reshaped how filmmakers approach the genre. So there you have it, 20 hidden facts about Ride the High Country that shine a light on why this film still matters today. Whether it's the behind-the-scenes struggles, the personal touches Peckinpah added, the casting stories, or its legacy in film history, this movie has so many layers. If you learned something new, hit that like button, share with your fellow Western fans, and let me know in the comments which fact blew your mind the most. And hey, if you want more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for more cinematic deep dives. And that's what truly makes Ride the High Country one of the most powerful and meaningful Westerns ever made. It isn't just a story about gold, gunmen, or one last dangerous journey. At its heart, it's a story about time, about what happens when legends grow older, when the world changes faster than the people living in it, and when men are forced to confront who they really are after a lifetime of choices. Director Sam Peckinpah didn't just make a Western, he made a farewell to an entire era. He showed us heroes who were no longer invincible, men who carried regret, pride, and dignity all at the same time. And that emotional depth is exactly why this film still resonates more than 60 years later. For Randolph Scott, this wasn't just another role, it was his final goodbye to the screen. After decades of playing Western heroes, he chose this film as his last appearance, walking away with one of the most honest and human performances of his career. And alongside him, Joel McCrea delivered a character filled with charm, sadness, and realism, showing us the complicated truth about loyalty and survival. Together, they didn't just act, they gave us something real, something unforgettable. Their performances remind us that true strength isn't always about winning fights, but about staying true to yourself when everything else is falling apart. What's even more incredible is how this film's legacy grew over time. When it was first released, it wasn't treated like a masterpiece. It wasn't heavily promoted, and many people didn't realize its importance. But over the years, critics, filmmakers, and audiences began to see its brilliance. Today, its preservation in the National Film Registry confirms what true film lovers have known all along, that this isn't just a Western, it's a piece of cinematic history. It helped redefine the genre, paving the way for more mature, emotional, and realistic storytelling that would influence countless films that followed. Even now, decades later, Ride the High Country continues to speak to new generations. Its themes of honor, aging, redemption, and friendship are universal. It reminds us that no matter how much the world changes, some values remain timeless. And maybe that's why this film still feels so powerful, because deep down, it isn't really about the Old West. It's about life itself. So now I'd love to hear from you. Which hidden fact surprised you the most? Did it change the way you see the film or the characters? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy discovering the untold stories behind classic movies like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next deep dive. Because here, we don't just watch movies, we uncover the legends behind them. Until next time, keep exploring and keep the spirit of classic cinema alive.